you guys get out of today?
Today, I've said it, and it sounds cliche, but it's just kind of the culmination of spring for us. I just wanted to see some guys have a chance to play in front of the fans. What an awesome fan base we have for that many people to show up early in the spring like this and watch, and the environment. It's great being back around them, and I just want to get off the field healthy, and I think we did that too. So we've seen 14 practices of guys doing what they need to do, and the schemes that we're running today was just kind of about showcasing some of that to the fans and finishing spring ball the right way.
Just got the offense in the first half, didn't really move the ball, but is that some of the product of not being able to get in your just thought?
It was both. It's probably three things. I thought it was a little ugly offensively in the first half. That being said, it's hard to tell where some of those runs go when you're blowing it dead. We were being dreadfully simple and running inside zone and between the tackles, and then you get tagged off and they blow it down. And I wouldn't have wanted to be an official and decide where to spot a lot of those, but it's hard to get a real read from that.
Your pass rush obviously is an ongoing question. Garrett Nelson looked pretty good today. How did you feel like he looked just throughout camp and including today?
Yeah, I think that's been a highlight for us today and through spring. We're really thin at that position right now. We don't have bodies. That being said, I've seen improvement from Garrett, improvement from Caleb, Jamari, and Blaze. Those guys have really taken a giant leap forward, in my opinion. We had trouble blocking them today, and hopefully that's a sign that they're playing good football as opposed to we didn't protect well enough.
I know he was limited today, but Casey's spring, now that it's over, what did he get out of it? How do you feel that?
There's a lot of learning. Quarterbacks, they say offenses are behind defenses usually when you're doing new things, and quarterbacks take the worst of that. And there's pieces of two different systems that those guys are all learning, not just him. And that's why I think at times we've looked like $1 million, and other times looked a little lost. But I've seen good progress from that position from multiple guys, and we got to make a lot more ground up in the summer.
With you and Whipple and the offensive staff, how much in the spring do you work on thinking about what you want to call in key situations, whether you showed it or not today?
Yeah.
How much of that is over the summer?
This spring, very little, and part of that is because we had a short winter conditioning. By the time we got all the coaches here and got done with recruiting, spring ball is right around the corner. So despite meeting a lot, situational stuff and exactly where this is going to land hasn't really been settled yet. The good thing is we get more time in the summer now. So situational stuff, red zone stuff, things like that, we haven't hit to the degree that we will by the time fall camp comes around.
Is Trevor playing a lot of catch-up here? He had a couple nice throws today, or is he within range of being able to push without?
No, you know me, I'm not going to crown anybody and then usually with all the reps we get, it's pretty clear at the end of that. Chuba missed a lot of time. It's had some good practices late in spring ball, and there'll be a lot more reps for everybody to make a decision.
What did you see out of the tight end group, particularly with A.J. Rollins?
Yeah, A.J. made a nice catch. He's been coming along. James Carney's been coming along. Borkercher's done some really good things. I don't want to leave anybody out, but those guys have been pressed into duty with Vokalek out for the spring, with Kickman out for the spring, with Chancellor Brewington out for the spring, and Thomas down right now. So, it's weird being a coach. Every year there's one position that seems like you get bit by the injury bug, and that was kind of our position this spring. That's kind of one of the reasons we had to go offense versus defense and not just split up into two teams. But it's good those guys are getting reps because we're going to need to count on them sooner or later.
We talked about the depth on the defensive line on the front seven. Do you think about that differently now than you would have a few years ago, just given the portal? And do you feel like that's an area where you need to add between now and August?
Yeah, I'm careful what I say. We're going to look to add pieces if the right ones are available at whatever positions a good player comes available. There's certainly some that we think we could use another body, and we'll pay more attention to those positions.
Got Anthony Grant, Rodney Ad, was that a window of what glimpses of what he can do?
He's had a really good spring. I think Jock's made a lot of progress. Ramir has too. Obviously, we're practicing without a lot of good players, Gabe Irvin being one of them. and we got a couple more guys coming in. So the run game, it was hard to tell in the first half, again, because with Thud, it's just hard to tell. In the second half, that's as much push as I've seen and downhill running, and that's what I've been seeing all spring. I think the way the offensive line's playing and the way the running backs are running are going to make us more efficient in the run game, and hopefully when we start getting a little more creative, that'll pay even bigger dividends.
Scott, how important was today and this weekend as a whole, beyond the plays out there that were made on the field today to this program, just because of everything that's going on around here this weekend?
Yeah, anytime we can be on the field in front of the fans, it's great. We miss it. There's just not a better environment. There's a lot going on right now, like you said, and just getting a chance to play football. And, one thing that's really neat is we got more kids that love football and want to be out there than we've had, and that goes a long way. Kids that want to practice hard and be around it all the time and come in and get extra work, be on the field for a scrimmage. Just way more kids that's their passion, and when you're passionate about something, usually you're better at it.
What's this next month like for this program, since the spring game was sort of moved up this year and still got
we're going to give our kids a little time off right after this from workouts, make sure academics are in line. Most of the team's doing a really good job with that. Then we're going to get back to work. We're going to push everything up a little bit. Season's pushed up. We're going to push up summer conditioning a little bit. We need more work on X's and O's and stuff on the field. Particularly on offense where there's new stuff. We didn't show any of it today, but new stuff we're doing that kids just need more reps at, and we need to be a little tighter with everything we're doing. So it'll be a good mix going forward of kind of a sped up summer conditioning and a little more work with coaches when we're allowed to.
Your scholarship kicker was here today. I guess it's just a attendee. I'm guessing he can't get here soon enough.
Yeah, the biggest applause all day I think was the bomb punt that Brian hit, and rightfully so. I would have been clapping too if that hadn't been inappropriate, but kicking and punting certainly we hope are better this year, and the guys we have and the new guys coming in need to figure it out and get that done.
Scott, Trent Dixon was a starter, I think, your first year here, and then he's been in the other lineup since then. What's he done? I know you're maybe a little short in the middle, but what's he done to put himself in position to play at center?
Trent's had a really good spring. Piper's behind him had a really good spring too. A lot of what those guys are doing up front has helped them. I think it's just kind of taking the handcuffs off them and let them go. But Trent's one of the guys I would highlight that has really taken a giant leap forward, and I feel good about that position with those two guys there.
You think Turner and Teddy can do enough between now and August or July to get themselves back to where they need to be in the preseason?
Yeah, they're going to have to. Those two kids are going to work their tails off. They're not that far away, so they'll be back in the mix real soon. It's been a little frustrating at times through the spring practicing without Gabe and Vokalek and Thomas and Corcoran and Teddy and a receiver here and there, and guys on defense, Reimer on defense, Casey Rogers on defense. Those are arguably 7 or 8 of our top 10 or 20 guys, and certainly looking forward to getting those guys back, and all of them should be ready to go pretty much full in summer conditioning.
Anything else for Coach?
How did you thought the DBs played today?
I thought the DBs played well. I thought Quentin Newsome had a good day, and he's had a really good spring, and we're going to have to count on him. He's kind of been the number 2 guy for us for a couple years here, and he needs to step up. Miles Farmer needs to step up in the back end, and we got some new guys playing really well. But those two have got to kind of transition from following to leading, and I feel good about our talent in the back end. We're a little inexperienced, and they're going to need the leadership from those two guys.
You'll have all those guys back for summer conditioning, Thomas too?
Yeah, I think almost all of them will be back for summer conditioning. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks.